Hey everyone, Brento here. I own nothing and am happy about it. Welcome to Dump City. Okay, I changed that intro at the last minute. I was going to complain. It was originally going to be I own nothing and happy about it thanks to rich people. But you know what? The theme of this episode is a happy citizen. And I don't want to complain about that too much here. I'm going to try to be a little happier because of the theme of the show. But you never know where it'll go, right? Earthquakes happen, fires happen. The world could, I could run out of money. There's numerous issues that could arise in this game. So I'm at least going to try to be, positive in this episode. I don't know if you've been following the series, but here we have our, Soviet Los Angeles. It's nearing. You'll notice there's a lot of buildings under construction, and they're almost ready. We started the game in regular Los Angeles. We had an earthquake early in the series. Everyone left, or most people left, and then when winter came around, we didn't have our heat plant working. I forgot to put coal in it, and a lot of people got sick and died. For the most part, the city's been abandoned for about 3 years now, but we've been rebuilding, and we're getting to the point where there should be enough stuff in this city, enough things to make people happy, that in theory, this will be the episode where we bring some citizens in and they actually stay. And that's not happened. Like each time they come into the city, they look at the ruins. They don't even have running water. They don't have sewage. They complain about it. They freeze. So many of them die. And then, the city they don't stay. We've tried bringing a few people in, but this is the episode where finally we're going to find out if they stick. And let's just do ourselves a little tour of the world here. So this is LA here. As you know from the series, this is our construction district, mostly done here. Here, I'm going to go back to detailed mode here. So if you're not familiar with this game, I'm assuming every now and then I like to do a bit of a catch up on like what's going on in the world, just because it's hard to watch an entire series of 2-hour shows and watch every episode. So this is the game Soviet Republic. It's a city simulator and like a economy simulator. You'll notice here there's some money involved, and it's a big challenge not to go off the fiscal cliff. What we're essentially doing is simulating the United States, with one city here, Los Angeles, and whether or not we can create a communist society and not go over the fiscal cliff, right? Unlike, most Western nations, private equity will often find an excuse to bail out a Western nation, but places like East Germany don't get bailed out. And as I'm taping this right now, we don't know what's going to happen in the U.S. It could go off the fiscal cliff. It could have to, sell assets and to pay the bills. So this is, in this game, we're sort of doing things as efficiently as possible to see if we can stay alive and survive as a nation. So here we have our border with Canada and Mexico. We bring in workers, we buy stuff from them. On this side here we have, and this you'll notice this isn't the real geography of Los Angeles. This is just a randomly generated map. We got China, we got Russia here, and they deal in rubles. So the rubles are on the top left, the dollar's top right beside it. Right now, in terms of loans we have no ruble loans, but we have problems with US dollars, much like real life. We got a couple of pages of, or 3 pages now of loans. And we have to, at some point, figure out how to pay those loans off. But before we do that, we got to make a city that's good enough for people to live in. We had a bit of an accident here between episodes. The technical office. See, after I built this Chinese construction office here, the technical office caught fire. and it burnt down, and there's no fire trucks in this area. So there's a demolition crew kind of removing the debris from that. It happened near the end of winter, and it's mainly for winter maintenance, that building. It's not a big deal, but I thought, you know what, let's start a fire station in this area of the map. I don't know if it could reach it from here, but well, we're near some water, and we'll see if we can get a helicopter pad here later. And as you know, this is where Houston is and the oil is. So this, like, really, like, if we lose a technical office, it's not a big deal. But if hypothetically there's a refinery here in the future, we're going to want a fire station very close by, because that's the big problem if you have a fire there. We're still working on some roads connecting to Dump City here. Dump City proper has not really been developed. We need, the premise of the game is we surround ourselves with dumps, we harvest the garbage, and we make stuff out of it and make a self-sustaining economy. But to do that, we need people in the city of Los Angeles here. San Francisco, again, it's just it's just got some roads laid out, but no services have begun. There's almost nothing happening. I thought they would do better, but the game AI they decide to move out no matter what. From what I was reading, as soon as you build anything, on the city proper, it kind of activates them. So at that point, they expect services, and I didn't know that. So they've been long abandoned for quite a while too, and they'll stay that way for a while. But in this episode, look at our cathedral here. Like, if you saw, this is the 20th episode, and this got destroyed in the 4th or 5th episode. I think it might have been the 5th. We had an earthquake, and look at it. It's less than 100 days from being activated. So in this episode, we're gonna bring the church back. I named it to the Soviet Lady of Angels. I was looking up some Los Angeles churches. That's we got Eastern Bloc. We got a few LA land, popular sites here. I'll come up with some more names for buildings in the area. Yeah, so this is 99% done. This is 97% done. A few other buildings, like the school and kindergarten, they just auto-finished between episodes. Last time I filmed was, the last date was about 6 months ago in game, maybe 3 months or whatever. Population 9,600, just did a census count here. Almost the lowest ever. It's gone up a little bit, but down from the last couple of years. And I'm assuming it won't go down any further. Like, if we do this right, if we make the citizens happy, they won't leave. I began construction on the Technical University here. This is going to be a bit of a priority. It's we need it in order to get our garbage recycling buildings unlocked and our ability to process oil. So that's going to be, it's a high priority now. Our police and courthouse are being built. They're not high priority, but they are at some point going to be done. Again, if there aren't many people in the city, it's not as urgent. Basically, everything's kind of ready to go. We got a fire station here that I set to high priority, because now that we're going to have actual services and assets in the city, we can't lose them to fire. So I guess there's not much more to say other than let's start real time here. Hold on, one last thing here. Between episodes, I didn't mention this. This end station got developed, and I altered the Canadian route. Actually, there's two things I want to show you here. So when we were picking up, lumberjacks from Canada and dropping them off here at the lumber bus stop, and then here, there was no synchronization with that route. It was just we didn't have an end station. And I don't know if you follow the series, but I did mention this in previous episodes that these, if you add the end station as a stop to the route, it kind of evenly spaces it. So right now we have a route here called Canada Workers with 10 vehicles on it. Look at all these vehicles. And one of their stops is this end station. So that ensures they're uniformly spaced, and it keeps steady staff going into, buildings near these bus stops. I also learned something out about the vehicle repair station. See this allow the repair cancel when long idle? I had that checked off. And when you have a like just a few workers manning the place, that it abandons repair projects and puts a debuff on your vehicles when that's not checked off. So I don't know if that's checked by default. Maybe I added it after and I shouldn't have, but I would not recommend checking that so long as you keep an inventory of goods. Like if your distribution offices are keeping your facilities well stocked, there's no reason to have this checked. So I unchecked that, and it's been, yeah, it looks like vehicles can be fully repaired if you uncheck that. There is no, I think I said in a previous episode, you can only repair so much, but no, I can fully repair a vehicle if you, I guess if you uncheck that and you have, or if you have like enough workers regularly visiting. So that's new. Yeah, and this parking lot here was added. So we've expanded our area of vehicles, of old crummy vehicles. This has actually gotten a little bit fun to manage all the old vehicles here and sort of, repair them and deal with problems. So between episodes, I've added a real bus stop right here with gravel roads. This is going to be permanent right beside it. So this is going to get kind of developed in parallel. And once it's done, I will bulldoze all the original mud road here. And the reason, like, it kind of makes sense here because there's several buildings on this side that need workers. And it'll give us we could even expand over here. It gives us a little bit more range of the city in terms of expansion room. But at the same time, it's this area here. I want this to be empty as possible, and the roads to go along the sides here. So I kind of came up with a final plan for the way that's going to lay it out. So in this episode, I'm probably not going to rant too much. I know you like the rants and stuff. I don't have any serious rants scheduled for this one. Just a few random topics. Again, this is called a happy citizen. So like if you've watched previous shows, sometimes I'm screaming for I'm like this. I leave the camera on the game and I'm just screaming, complaining about the mortgages and interest rates and stuff for like an hour. Just all the dumb things that our corporations do and fake jobs. I don't have any particular fake job. We'll see. We'll see how this episode goes too. I'm not gonna I'm gonna try to do my best here and make this one of the more positive episodes. Just because you gotta have a bit of yin and yang to stuff, and just because dumping is fun. Dumping on everyone is fun, and people deserve it for being stupid rich people deserve it, because they waste all their money and then it causes homelessness, and then they blame other people for not working. Okay, there you go. I'm already okay. But that's a little amount. If you've watched the series, that's reasonable, right? That kind of a statement. It's not even that bad compared to some of the things I say, but I really want to focus on getting the city working here. So let's give it a go here. The snow is going to be melting right away here. We have to start enabling these buildings here too. So I'm going to enable the mall first. So we want to get I guarantee this church will be done before the end of the episode. Slightly higher priority is this mall, because once it's built, we have to put stuff in it, right? So we're going to have to stock it up while the other buildings are getting built. And this will be a bit of an action-packed episode where we're kind of catching things in real time. Again, I haven't played all weekend. The only time I really get to play is on stream and recording days. So when I get into the game, it's like I'm just getting familiar with it like you are. Checking out the world here. You know, I don't assume everyone watches every episode in the series, but um, uh, if you, I do. So for that reason, I try to catch people up on some things. But if you have watched enough episodes, you know that inspecting construction offices are one of the ways to know if there's problems. We have a few idle trucks here, but that's not too bad. Um, you know, given like we've got 23 trucks in this construction office, 20 of them are doing something, so there doesn't seem to be any issues there. So it's usually just a good practice to look around for issues. Okay, so we've completely shut down, like you'll notice here the number of workers. I've prevented them from going to work here. We don't need more wood. Look at all that wood. And look at all these boards here. Like it's full. It's completely full and they're not using it. We could probably sell, you know what? There you go. This is problem solving. See what we do here? We're going to take it, we're going to sell some of it. This is because, you know, the truck's doing nothing. So it'll load some boards and we'll sell it to Canada because they need lumber. They don't have enough lumber. Good old American lumber. They leech off us. They leech off us. Okay. So yeah, there you go. There's one thing to do. A little bit more efficient. Every dollar counts in this game. We got to sell stuff. We got to work on that. You'll notice I already took one loan, and that's the real time element is borrowing things. Much like many, you know, basic financial knowledge is, you know, lines of credit are always superior to, you know, full size loans because you're only paying the interest on the amount borrowed. So that's usually the preferred way to do, you know, money transactions. I've been watching the series. You know, I like the series so far overall. Few audio issues, few video issues. Overall, there's some strength and weaknesses to this format. I think the money knowledge is pretty good in this series. Like if there's anything that's unique about this series, it's probably teaching you money management a little bit more. You know how to. Again, this is realistic mode Soviet Republic, which is like the hardest setting. If you'd never played the game and you just started playing it, you would almost certainly go off the fiscal cliff in your first attempt. I wouldn't recommend playing realistic mode without at least going through the campaign or the tutorials. We'll go through the campaign for sure. Then you could maybe handle it. My first attempt at realistic mode, I failed. This is my second attempt. I've learned some things. You know, every little detail counts. That you might think, well, one truck moving some boards and selling it, and they're not worth that much, the boards. Is that really that critical? Yeah, it is. This game is very unforgiving, and if you like, if little problems don't get addressed, it gets pretty bad. Oh, I want to grab another fire truck here too. Let's just see if there's any for sale here. Oh, no fire trucks here for sale. Let's see. Actually, I thought I bought one earlier. Yeah, there might be another one heading over right now. Let's see if there's any Canadian fire trucks. Oh, there is one here. But it's not a good one. It's not a good deal. That's not a big discount. I know later on there'll be some fire trucks that are really good that emerge here. And I don't want to fill up every fire truck slot with, you know, mediocre fire trucks. I could have sworn I bought one between episodes and it's heading over here. Like, I'm very, very cheap here. We have 155,000 rubles. Again, we have no loans in rubles, so we still want to spend in rubles. We don't want to spend in US dollars, so unless there's a good used one in rubles, I'm not too interested in it. Oh, another thing I did between episodes here is I put some of the cheapest houses I could right at this intersection, because I think we might have some issues with living space in the area. Again, if they don't get built, or if they don't last very long, it's not a big deal. They're really cheap houses. So that's something, again, they're not high priority here. I'll be sure to set it to low priority. Actually, this one we'll keep one at medium, but we don't need two. The other one's low, just for symmetry. You might end up putting apartment buildings there. Yeah, once we get the church done, the mall done, the sports complex done, and the hospital, you know, we could. I want the mall to be the highest priority, though. Like, I disabling these other ones so they all work on the mall right now, because we need to stock it up, and while it's stocking up, then I'll enable the others. Maybe the church next. I know that's been a long wait to get that back and running. And once we get like 4 of these ready for these new buildings, we're going to start dragging people back in and see if they stay. It's also a little early in the season. Like you'll notice that it's 2 Celsius outside, which is like about freezing if you're used to Fahrenheit. So it's a little cold for people anyways. So dragging people in this early, and you don't want to do it, like you want to do it as soon as it gets warm enough, just because that's the ideal time where you don't have to spend money on coal. And if there's other problems, we'll find out about it, right? Another alternate episode for this, a name for this episode was QA Testers, where basically we drag citizens in and we test whether it's livable or not. Next year, maybe it will be a little bit more permanent, but we don't know how well this is going to work, right? We don't know if we have enough basic needs dealt with here. Another thing we can do here is check out our paths here. I've been working on paths to make sure our walking speeds are top notch, especially to the cathedral. This central zone here, I've been developing a lot of asphalt walk paths. And if you're not familiar, like you see here the walking speed of 50%, 87, 95, and 100. Okay, so I'm putting as many 100% down as I can. But when you use roads, I don't know if you can see this, but they have a much lower walkability, like 79% for one of these types of roads. Yeah, they're all, the best I think is 87%. Yeah, notice I watch myself on the stream sometimes and I'm severely delayed. It's like sometimes minutes in the past. I don't know why that is. I hope there's no issues with audio lag and stuff going on. The last episode I had to cut out early. But I ran a stream, like a stream only, and it ran for 4 hours and I didn't see any video issues. So this is a real episode, so I hope we don't get any bizarre issues with the technology again. I could rant about that. Here's something, a bit of a topic. This is unscripted, what I'm about to say here. So I was looking at this idea of adding keywords to the YouTube videos, and I noticed there's like, you know, companies you got to pay money, and they'll tell you what the best, like the most searched keywords are. I'm like, why do I got to pay money for that? Like, how is that fair? Is there any free versions of that? I don't have enough money to pay money to do that. But if I don't pay money, how am I going to know how to target people, right? It's almost like there's it's probably not terribly expensive. I could probably get like like an entry level account, but it's weird that that's something you have to pay money for. It's not really like in the theme of this series. You know, it's not good for a business to have a for pay. Like there's a few companies that make money off doing this, but for the broad community, this isn't good. You know, someone who's just starting out who can't afford to pay for, you know, popular searches on YouTube, this information. It seems like that's like, why do that? Like, why is that monetized, right? What is the purpose of doing that? Like, anyone who's willing to take the time to research popular searches, you know, they should probably be rewarded, but they have to pay some money on top of that. So I don't know if I agree with that, how that's a business. Like, it seems like too that, like, how would they know? How would the businesses uh, know what the popular search is? Is it YouTube got to deal with them? Like, I don't know. If I was managing YouTube, I'd investigate that, because that doesn't seem like it's uh, kosher, so to speak. Again, I'm very, very much anti barrier to entry. Like, look at the success of China. One of the big things about it is I was watching some videos on it, and the barrier to entry in the market for any Chinese startup is anyone can do it. It's way, way easier. They don't have things like that. Like, I know having the keyword or the search popularity information um, is, I know previously I used to be able to get that information for free, but now I can't really find out where it is for free anymore. Maybe it's still out there for free. If someone knows where to get that information for free, let me know. But the searches I found just came up with businesses that wanted a fee for keyword searching, and it seems like that's just a data dump that YouTube has. And if the businesses want to make money, like if they want to get paid for, putting it out there and making it findable, then maybe YouTube should pay them directly, because it benefits YouTube, right? This is to YouTube's benefit, in order to have people that have, popular content searches that match what they're looking for, right? So, I don't know, a small rant there on that. Just something I came across this weekend in terms of, uh, I am trying to grow this channel. There's many things I'm doing simultaneously, and one of the things is I gotta improve my tags, and apparently you're supposed to use this information to choose your topics better. And this episode and the next one I already got scripted. Again, I gotta go by what happens in the world too. I can't just, when we're finally gonna have a happy citizen here, that seems like it should be the, I don't know if searching would help too much. Hopefully, by episode 20, enough people are watching it as a show, and just like any other show, you just tune in and you're just going to be entertained at this point, right? Like, maybe some of the clips I do might be worth, keywording, and maybe topics for future shows might be that might be valuable. But I'm still at the point where I wouldn't want to pay money for that yet, just because just the way this show works is I don't have too much control over it. I am here to primarily entertain you, primarily share some wisdoms of mine. The many, I won't say insane life, like not. I won't, like, there's people who've lived very, very crazy lives, but I've lived a very unusual life, like just strange, just not many archetypes like it, right? Like the mad inventor who became a streamer, right? That's like, usually inventors, get rich at some point, but instead I became a streamer. So, and just the unusual stories in life that led to that. But yeah, it's a little weird that you'd have to pay for keywords. Okay, that wasn't scripted. I just thought I'd share that, just because it is a strange thing, a strange business. It's not just about the video game. And we're waiting for stuff to get done here. Waiting for a mall to get done. I have to have some interesting clips in every show. I don't know if that's that interesting, but I am getting impatient with stuff getting built here. Let's just check out this. Okay, I want to see if there was a fire truck that was en route here. I could have sworn I bought one. Maybe it can't get in right now because there's roads under construction here. Like, sometimes I just see them in the middle of the map. Lost. See if we can find one. But I could have sworn I bought a fairly fast one. And I don't know where it is. That's the real-time element. You're always borrowing money. This is a money management series. I don't know what kind of audience that's going to draw, but as a middle-aged male who has to be fiscally responsible, I think fiscal responsibility is interesting. Okay, we bought ourselves a fire truck here, and just in case, it was cheap. It has a ladder. I don't know if a ladder is going to help much, but let's send it to the fire station. You'll notice too here that asphalt's been added to the area around it, so that any trucks going leaving will have like a jump start. No other asphalt really. I don't know if any other, like, I assume fire trucks don't follow speed limits, that they go as fast as they want. So I want to have at least this area that gets onto the freeway is all asphalt. Let's just check something out. Actually, I'm going to go tell you another story here while we wait for our eastern block to get finished here. Oh, we don't have all the constructions on there. Okay, Canada and Mexico were not hard at work. We had some. Okay. Yeah, I'm always checking for workers. I also want to make sure that there's no workers just idle. I don't mismanage things like the US currently does. You know, where private interests dictate who gets to work and who gets a business license and who does not. You know, this is a free America. This is communist America, not the slave state that it currently is. So I got to make sure it's operating efficiently. I don't meddle. I just help. I help. That's the difference. A capitalist society meddles. A socialist society helps. That's one of the key distinguishing traits between the two forms of government. Okay, we got some vehicles here that are getting almost ready. Look at this. Look at these vehicles. We almost got too many microbuses. You know what? I want to take one of these. Like if they're queuing up. Oh, this one's getting repaired. That's why. Oh, they're both getting repaired. Oh, this one could stand to be repaired too. Well, too late now. What was I talking about? I like to ramble sometimes. Oh yeah, I was gonna just a side story. I put a YouTube clip of a do-it-yourself repair I did on the weekend because I had a sump pump. Wouldn't shut off. Just would not like. And I got to the point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs, take the thing out, and put it on a table and look at it with a flashlight. And it was designed. The design of it is. It's just you go like this when you look at how they designed it. Again, that's why I'm not an employed engineer, because I won't do stuff that's stupid. I refuse to do I try to make stuff that's long-term useful and lasts a long time. But in capitalist societies, that's frowned upon, making high quality products. So they don't tend to want to hire you. So yeah, it was a kind of a weird design where the float would always be stuck open. There's a YouTube video, just check it out. It was a DIY sump repairer, how to fix a sump pump for free or something like that. And I came up with a contraption to basically engineer it a little bit further, zero cost. So a sump pump that might have needed to have been replaced with a little bit of a counterweight. I used an old handle from a paint can because I couldn't dismantle it and reassemble it. So I just wrapped it around and that seemed to fix it. But I think I'm going to do a series on that whenever I fix stuff that way for free or nothing, because, you know, I have no money. IRL, right? So I'm going to just put like a video of it. If it's either a free repair or an extremely cheap repair. You know, I've literally dismantled almost every appliance in my house. Fridge, stove, not the washer fully, but I've completely taken up my dryer, almost every single part of it. Like I could design a dryer right now, just from how I like the way the belts work and stuff. It's unusual. Dryers are quite fascinating, actually, how they're built. And unless you do stuff like that, you don't realize, unless you actually look at how things are made, like that dryer, uh, the one I dismantled, it had a circuit board fire, and it wasn't lint, it wasn't something jammed in the mechanics. It was in the circuit board itself. There was a bad relay. I think it was a relay. Pretty sure it was a relay. This was a few years ago, and it literally was burnt part of the circuit board, and there was smoke coming out of it. And this was a fairly new dryer, just after warranty, built in the 2010s, just in that era where capitalism and the idea of engineered obsolescence got you a loan at a bank. And this is ultimately what drives a country off the fiscal cliff, as you know, right? Because when you sell more stuff to the public, you do not produce anything. There's a difference between revenues and production. The economy is measured on things you make for it, not the money you collect from it. So when you sell twice as many dryers, you're costing the public that amount of money in equal measure. And the loss is the wasted time of producing multiple appliances. So in terms of if you don't want to go off the fiscal cliff, engineered obsolescence is a very bad idea. You want to make dryers, appliances to last, right? You don't want to have to replace them. They used to last, and that's when the US was in better financial health. But large corporations, they're in with the lobbies. They don't see any fault to anything they do. They're just echo chamber Nepo babies that run a lot of these corporations. And they're the problem. They're the reason why the U.S. has had to borrow so much money, because for every dryer they've been manufacturing, they could have been doing half as many dryers, right? And therefore the workforce could have been allocated on something else, like building homes or improving EV infrastructure, just just better roads, better rails, better everything, better food quality. But no, when you waste time engineering things to be obsolete like that, like look at light bulbs too. They have expiry dates. You have to look at how many hours they're designed to last. Like I don't know why, like a 2 cent part, why someone wouldn't pay the extra 2 cents to last an extra 1,000 hours, or 2,000 or 5,000 hours, but they stupidly assume this is a choice you want to make. Again, you don't have any control over it. It's just the rich idiots in charge that force it down your throat. It's not an option. So this idea of appliances going bad, it's just a terrible one for the economy. And if the US doesn't fix that, people don't start. And that's just one example, right? There's all kinds of industries like that. I've gone over a lot of fake jobs in the series. Again, no fake job this episode. I got a few I'm thinking of, none specific. This is a happy citizen episode. No complaining, no ranting whatsoever in this episode, right? None whatsoever. God damn it, I clicked borrow. I mean, yeah, okay, so we're still waiting on our mall here. It's taking a while. It's getting very close to done, though. Very close. And as soon as it's done, we're going to assign, we're going to go to our distribution office. Oh, we need a truck for it, though. We don't have enough trucks. We got to find it. Maybe we got to get one from China. We need a truck to manage it. These ones are getting repaired. All the other ones seem to be in use. What's this one doing? Oh, this one's ready. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, look at that. I'm a happy citizen. I'm not flipping out like I usually do. Well, 40 some minutes into the episode. If I last an hour without flipping out, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Yeah, I got a few other topics. Well, let's just play the game a little bit here, though. We gotta. Some people here are interested in seeing this church getting built, but we can't build the church until we get them all done. So yeah, we're gonna set up this. Once the mall is ready, this distribution office, we'll add it the mall as a destination, and as you saw in previous episodes, we've preloaded our warehouse with supplies, right? And this warehouse has some electronics in it, so it's kind of got some domestic stuff. And we have this is our China discount supplies. The trucks aren't even being used right now, but they buy things in rubles for less money and bring it over. But all our warehouses are kind of full enough, anyways. Let's increase the capacity a tiny bit here. We want to have this because people are going to start buying stuff. You know, what makes you happy in life? Stuff. That's what makes you happy in life. Let's go with 70 across the board here. Yeah, because now when things get below 70, by the time they get there, it should be well emptied. Now I just want to check a few more things though. I want to check. This guy can really carry a lot here. Okay, this guy's going to take 100% prefab. Let's just check that out. 27 tons of prefab. Can it fit in there? Oh yeah, we got 42 tons to spare. Let's check in our inventories here. Oh, here we go. Our fire station's beginning to get constructed too. Yes, it might be better for it to be done before the mall here. Look at that. We even got a crane here. See that crane? Look at this. This thing. Level 105. Massive. We spent a few dollars on that, but it's getting our money's worth out of it. Just a few episodes back, we bought that baby. I have to check the video lag. Like in OBS, as I record this, I get like a little window that shows video lag. And last time it was around the hour mark. Last episode, I had to cut it short. I released the first half of it. I think it was good enough in the first half. I didn't get enough clips out of it, but not enough rants due to the shorter format. But hopefully we don't get any video issues. I have lowered the actual resolution. I can barely tell the difference with the lowered resolution, to be honest. Like, this is lower resolution than the last episode. So it is what it is, right? I can't I don't got a lot of money. I can't buy high-end anything here. Just what I have. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it affects things that much. Like, imagine if Bob Ross would be like, oh, you know, his brush was like slightly imperfect and he just complained about it the whole episode. Oh, this brush, I wanted to make the trees a little better, but the brush wasn't the type of brush I was hoping to get. Just ruin the show, just complaining. I don't know if that would be if his series would be as popular if he was that negative. I'm trying not to be negative at all, just the natural just a little bit naturally might come out as the topics come up. So our technical office here, this is really only useful I also bought 2 snowplows and they got destroyed in the fire between episodes. So that sucks. As long as this is kind of rebuilt by next winter, I think we're okay. So that's not a big deal, that. Okay, let's see if our mall's done. We need one of these. The pace of these buildings finishing is too slow. I want one every few minutes here. How's that snapping? Can you pick this mic? Yeah, it picks up a little bit. I changed the gate too, because I was doing some audio testing on the weekend, and I noticed if I talk too slow or too quiet, it would cut out. But there, I don't think it did. If I would have done that with the old setting, with the old gate setting on the mic, it would have sounded bad. So let's see. See if I've leveled up a little bit. A little slightly better streamer than the last episode. You know, control of my volumes. I know what picks up and I know what doesn't. The background noise seems to be filtered. Yeah, I think a video was the issue in the last recording. It just cropped its head. Maybe the city did get too complicated. Maybe too at some point. I'll have to go even to low resolution in order to maintain, you know, certain quality of show. The audio seems to be okay the last couple of recordings. And again, this is background noise, right? We try to last an hour. You fall asleep. You're still listening in the background. 2-hour view time. That's the formula. I am actively trying to do this. Okay? Keep you interested for an hour. After an hour, you're not going to change it because you've listed this far. And therefore, once it starts getting boring, like, it's not going to get boring yet because we still got to see the church and we got to see these buildings get done right away here. So you can at least watch for that long, and then it goes on a little bit, just drones on a little bit. But you know, by then I figure you're not near the, you know, switch video button, next video button. So, you know, that's I think that's a YouTube, that's a pro YouTube tip. You know, I got 6 subscribers as of this recording, and once I get to double digits, I think that I'll clip this out and I'll make it a pro YouTube tip. Make a video interesting for the first bit, and then who gives a crap for the second half, right? They fall asleep. What's the difference? It's a view time. You know, maybe the ads, you know, they're half awake. You got your face on your desk. You're passed out on your couch, and you're watching this on TV. Maybe the ads that kick in are going to make you're more susceptible to suggestion, like it's hypnosis. Maybe they'll do some studies on this and go, wow, this works. This formula of a 2 to 3 hour show, where they get so bored by the second hour, but the people tend to buy things that get advertised in that second hour. Maybe that's it, and then it'll get popular everywhere, right? So you got to be just interesting enough to keep them entertained, but then boring enough that they fall asleep and they can't change the channel, right? That's the YouTube pro tip. This has got to be getting close here. We're the workers. This is a high priority project. I've disabled the others so they go to this. And I might even want to just outright stop some other projects. Though I have nothing against them going to this fire station here, because, like, imagine a fire or an earthquake happens in the last bit of the show, and that destroys the buildings, and I flip out because I didn't have a fire station. Like, imagine some of these buildings burn down, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, I'm a little paranoid of that. So that one I'm going to leave high priority. I don't know about this. You know what? Let's disable some of these other ones here. I don't think any workers are going here to the courthouse. And there's not going to be enough people for there to be crime initially. So let's just take those out. Let's have a quick look at our plumbing. I think I did all our sewer and water between episodes. Like, it's kind of... it might even be working right now. I'm not even sure. Like, there's no one in the city, though. But I think if we trace this line, I think the sewer line's functional. But there's nothing... There's no one, like, flushing stuff down the toilets yet. So... we can't really see how functional it is. Okay, this actually needs to be high priority. Why is this not being... Why do they do that sometimes? that's an essential switch because the water can't get through it. There's a water pump right here, so that is kind of important. Like if they don't have water, uh, that's one of the things. It's not just the buildings that make people happy. It's not just like water is stuff technically. If you want to be a happy citizen, you need water, right? What else do you need to be a happy citizen? You need movie theaters. You need to watch you know 2-hour shows of high quality writing and good looking people on screen telling you stories, right? That's one thing you need to be happy. So you need water, you need that. You need a toilet, functioning toilet. You need sewers, right? You need these sewer lines. Or is there a sewer line around here? I think there's one here. You need sewage tanks that flow out of where you live. That's the one thing you need to be happy. You need a church or a synagogue or a mosque. You need to believe in something. That makes people happy, right? What else makes people? Sports makes people happy. Indoor football. That's what this is because of winter and stuff, right? They obviously this is America, so they got indoor football. Because there is a football stadium in this game, but it doesn't work in winter because it's 1967 in the game, so it kind of ruins football. And they don't have like arenas yet in the game, as far as I can tell. I think this is kind of like the arena. So this is an arena, let's say. This is the 1967 arena. So you need sports. Watch your basketball, watch your hockey. Yeah, you need kindergartens to get rid of your kids now and then, right? Because they're annoying. Same with school. You send your kids to school. Get rid of your kids. That also makes you happy, right? Hospital. If you get sick or something, or you get drunk and fall down the stairs, go to the hospital, and that'll make you happier than if there wasn't a hospital, right? And just lying around on the couch. They got all kinds of meds there. Oh, those make you very happy in the hospital. That's a whole thing. What else? I think I'm missing a thing or two here. Like higher education doesn't really make people happy. If you go to university, you're kind of like, you're doing it to make money later, but money makes you happy because, Western capitalist nations, they don't provide you with free housing like communist nations. So having a house, that's one of the reasons you would go to universities, in order to get a house, right? But beer makes people happy. That one I forgot. Alcohol, wine, all kinds of spirits, cocktails. These are the things that make people happy. And as long as we have all these things, I just want to do a check. Did I miss it? I think I got almost everything now. Fire stations in a way make you happy because they prevent the things from burning down. As long as you have all these things, you should be a happy person. You don't need money. Like in this game, you don't get money. When you go to university, they don't actually give you money. They give you a house though, right? So it's kind of the same thing, right? Because that's why you need money in the first place. It's because you need the house, right? So really, you don't need money to be happy. So maybe socialism, maybe that's what they're talking about. Communism is gonna, as long as they provide, right? Right? Yeah, there's free houses out there. That was the other thing. I'll owe nothing because they're gonna give me a free house, right? Is that where's the free house? But yeah, those are the things I think. Those are the things, at least in this game, that make you happy. Maybe in real life, there's other things, but according to this game, yeah, that's about it. So look at this; it's 100% done. 2 work days. It's gonna be done. You gotta get ready here. Oh my goodness! Okay, this truck's just waiting. We're gonna click it right away. And actually, let's start on the sports hall next. Yeah, because it has a little bit more work to do. Let's get that queued up. And come on, mall. Now, I don't think people will just start moving in on their own. I don't think they do that. I think you got to drag them in. How are we doing for time? Okay, we're about an hour in here. So, I think this isn't going to be as boring in the second half, because I think to make a happy citizen, like our experiment, we're setting up our experiment, right? To make happy citizens. And, you know, like here's a building here. Okay, that has no citizens in it. He's got to find a building with, I don't know if anyone lives in the city anywhere. Yeah, I can't show you all the conditions of happiness until we drag someone in. So we'll go to New York and grab some people and drag them in shortly. But I want to at least have 3 of these buildings done. Minimum 3 before we start running experiments. Some of these houses could be rebuilt too, but the whole city's empty right now. Okay, it's done. There it is. There it is. Now, the reason that had to be done first is because we got to stock it. Yes. Okay, yes. So I can pick it from the Los Angeles warehouse. I want this to be a little on the ball. Like the higher the unload number, the higher it is, the more you say you want in there before, like, that's like your threshold of capacity. Some buildings, like let's say your truck can in one shot fill a building, right? You want to keep the unload capacity low. But if the truck takes multiple deliveries to fill it up, you keep it high, right? Because you don't want to be delivering half full loads. But this is a big mall, and I think because of that, we want to go a little higher. So yeah, so let's look at electronics, for example, 8.17 tons, right? Now, I don't know where our truck went. We'll go find him real quick here. Okay, so he's going to go get a full load of electronics of 2.5 tons. And that still won't be enough. He's going to have to do 2 loads, right? Because half of 8 is 4, and this is only 2.5. So for this, and he's going to have to do that with all the goods. So this truck alone, maybe we can find another one to start stocking it up. And once people move in, that mall empties pretty quick. See if this guy's ready. No. Yeah, I've got a sewer and water truck here. So let's make sure the other services are working nicely. Okay, come on. Hurry up. Let's just empty him into here. Why can't they go into here? Maybe I have to select it again. Maybe that's a user interface issue. Does it work again? No, they don't. That's a sewage truck, is it not? Oh, no, wait. That's not a sewage truck. See how stupid I am? I thought that was a sewage truck. It's a log truck. There is a sewage truck here somewhere, though. Let's just see. Okay, yeah, this one can't be repaired anyways. He's gonna wait 9 months, so let's put this sewage truck. They both have logs in them, I guess, right? Yeah, so the log, that was a log truck. This is another type of log truck. All right. Let's see if this log truck, okay, it's fully repaired though. Let's put it to, I know we're not chopping any logs down now, but I don't want to waste parking spots, so yeah, okay. Just taking care of that. You know, I think I am tempted. Let's see if any of our closed halls are not being used here. Yeah, this one here. I think we'll grab this one. We don't need the big one. I don't want to be... This is just a local delivery truck. Yeah, we don't need that many. Let's send them over here. Because I think there's some more in our construction offices, but they're being used all the time. So let's bring it over here. We do have a lot of stocking to do in this mall. So that'll do that. Okay, let's see it. If look at that. We've got electronics. Oh, we got to get a meat truck. We need a meat truck. Okay, let's see if we can find one. Oh, we ran out of money too. Look at that. I might pay a small penalty for that. Okay, let's see if there's any used meat trucks here. They're called refrigeration trucks. I don't think we need 8.4 tons of meat. That's silly. I think this is a better deal. You got to start buying trucks that are going to, actually, let's deliver the first load directly from the Soviet bloc here. Yeah, you want trucks that are going to have a higher top speed going forward, because even though most of our roads can't go this fast yet, some of them are starting to go that fast. So we want to make sure we're a little bit future-proof at this point. So we'll drop the first load into directly into the mall. And then once it gets to the mall, it could actually do a couple of loads here. And that'll get our meat in there. This is why we had to do this first, because the mall's a little different. It doesn't just automatically start working. Look at that food arriving. So there should be a truck here picking some meat up. And I didn't do a quagmire laugh or anything there when I said meat. I could have, but I didn't. Okay, let's yeah, so this thing's picking up some meat and it's going to deliver it to the mall. Let's check our other facilities. The church is going to come up next, right after this sports hall. I don't know what this, like, I know the church doesn't need any deliveries, so that one we can do last, right? But the sports hall might need chlorine or something. There might be a pool in it or something. I'm not sure. We'll see when it's done. I don't think I've ever built it before. I just know that it's like the ultimate sports facility. So we'll see what it requires shortly. And then we'll enable the cathedral or hospital next. Look how close the hospital... Actually, we could probably start working on the hospital too, because it needs a little bit of concrete still. So we'll get the hospital going at the same time. Like, it's literally... and I know we have to set up some doctors for the hospital. So I'll drag some... Like, I already came up with Nick Riviera's house between episodes. Because I thought about this in advance. So this is where we're going to hire some immigrant experts. And we're going to assign them to the hospital. While dragging in, regular citizens. And we'll see if that makes the hospital effective. Okay, we got to get these things all configured. Just having the buildings finished isn't okay. Once we get the meat, they're going to have everything they need in here. Looks like my stream's staying up. Last recording, I was just offline. I couldn't even tell what was working. Looks like everything's working. It makes me a happy citizen, right? Technology working. Haven't ranted too much. Not too... it's all relative. How negative a person is. You ever see this Debbie Downer on Saturday Night Live? It's just one of those things that's so funny that the actors and actresses couldn't even hold it together doing the skit, because it's just, you just know what she's gonna do, and I don't know why it's so funny, the Debbie Downer skits. And like, if you're an actor in that situation, knowing what Debbie was about to say, I don't know how you could keep it together. And it's just, she doesn't say anything She just says really depressing, negative, horrible things, and people just crack up laughing. But that's the style of that, right? That's a little bit older Saturday Night Live skit, Debbie Downer. You can't always. I don't know how many of those you could do, like how many Debbie Downers you could write, but the the style of it is it's just something different. If you want something different for comedy, check out Debbie Downer. No matter what your comedic tastes are, and watch you got to watch a few. Like the first one might not seem funny. You'll go, this isn't funny, but as you see it, the process, like the format of it, it and as she gets more and more depressing, it just gets you. I've laughed out loud many times to those skits. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, the hospital, the sports hall are moving along. We got to catch that meat truck. And then we'll assign it. Like the meat doesn't sell too fast. And we'll bring it over to this office here. Yeah. We'll put. We'll set up some other distribution offices, like permanent ones. We need the technology for it, though. And the only way to get the technology for it is to have a university. Okay, hold on. Okay, while we're waiting here, let's just do a quick tutorial on the university. Okay, this one, why did this finish so fast? The other things were high priority. Let me just check something here. Okay, that could be why, because I don't know why some of the other construction offices aren't assigned to where they should be. That's partly why. Okay, I just want to do a quick tutorial on how the university works here, because I've mentioned, and this is, okay, so as you know, there's three types of, and this is relevant so you understand what's going to happen in the world, what we're doing in the game. I'll try to do this somewhat briefly, but there's, three types of universities, and a building called University Halls Residence, which is basically an apartment block where people don't go to work, they only go to one of the three universities. Each one of these universities has a tech tree, okay? The one we built is called the Technical University. So here we can choose some research options. So now we can see the tech tree. This is the first time in the game we've been able to see how the tech tree works. So this is the blue techs we could do, right? And the thing I want to do first is I want to get to waste separation as fast as possible. So we're gonna choose that. But you'll see that some of the techs require other universities. Like to get grand monuments, you need concrete first from the tech university, but then one of the other universities lets you build grand monuments. So that that can't be done in this university. So that's why you have to build the other universities. But we have enough stuff to keep us busy for a while here. So this is the tech tree itself. But in the university, so let's just pick our tech. We're going to go with, where is it? Waste processing. It's Dump City. What do you expect, right? I could explain all the other options. They give you various industry things, but you'll also notice here, unlike other buildings that have, remember we're adjusting the number of workers? So here, what I want to do is I want to lower this a little bit, and I want to lower, actually, I want to keep a few on. This is good here, 0, 5. So when you assign your staff and professors on this side of things, it will educate other citizens. So people just go into the school to increase their education level, enabling them to work in other buildings such as the hospital, right? Like you need higher skilled workers. Even technically, a technical university can train doctors for the hospital by doing this. Okay, you don't need the medical university for it. The medical university is only for the technologies themselves, right? When you go into the research tree, like a preventative medicine, vitamins, stuff like that, adjusting birth rates, heart, brain surgery, first aid, viruses. So that's what the research does at the medical university. But in terms of educating people, that's what the staff and professors do. But you'll see we have professors working on research. So if I set this to 0, like if I go to no one to work on research, no research gets done. So that's sort of how this works. And you decide between educating your people and learning things. I'm pretending this is part of the show. Okay. So just, this is still the Happy Citizen episode, right? Actually, I stopped recording previously, but I'm going to record a little bit extra just in case, you know, the technical video issues that keep emerging randomly during my streams. You know, when I'm testing it, like I did a 4-hour stress test, I had no issue, but I noticed the data being recorded is way lower. Like I reset my modem, I reset my computer, I have every other background app shut off. I've lowered the resolution, and the FPS goes to very poor quality. I noticed sometimes randomly. I don't know why it's doing that. So just in case that did happen, and we missed part of the last episode, this is going to, or the Happy Citizen, because there's a timeline too. I can't just go in, you know, into too far into the future and with no explanation of what just happened. So just in case, we're doing a little bit of extra recording here. So this, again, I thoroughly explained everything. This recording here theoretically shouldn't be needed, but if there's capitalists meddling with my technology somehow, I don't know why. I don't know how they would do it, but for some reason, the FPS just goes bad when I have something scripted. That if there's nothing scripted, there's no technical issues. But as soon as I start speaking, it the FPS goes to bad. So we have our hospital here. We have we've dragged a bunch of people into Dump City, and bought some. We have Nick Riviera's house here. Seems to be working. That people are theoretically, they're coming in. They're getting treated. We got enough people. Oh, this place doesn't have drinking water. Okay, we got some issues here. We got to look into that. Actually, yeah, this project here has to get finished for them to get drinking water, but not a big deal. The church is ready now. Our mall is ready, and it looks like we do have happy citizens here. So just in the event that I have to edit this after the fact, and because of the FPS issue that keeps propping up randomly during scripted recordings, partially scripted. I mean, I have things I want to do in the episode, and it, you know, maybe it's like the last one where it recorded for the first hour, but then I had to cut off the last bit due to the FPS issues. This is some additional recording. Again, it will do without FPS issues for long stretches. I did a 4-hour test with no FPS issues on Friday. It didn't lag at all for 4 hours. And I was playing the game. I wasn't talking as much, but I was playing the game. And I want to make sure you can see how the world looks here. We got our technical university. We're doing some research now. Again, I can't undo this, right? It's been done in the world, and there's no reversing things. So this is almost immediately after I did all this. You're losing a little bit. You know, you lost an hour of content, let's say, of how this all just happened. But we got our mall, we got our university, we got our bar seems to be working. Hospital, our school seems to be working. Kindergarten, and people, you know, we dragged a few people in here. They were at, you know, 30 and 40%-ish. They're steadily getting happier. So yeah, this looks like looks like we have ourselves a happy society. So just in case the last episode didn't have a proper ending, or sorry, this episode didn't have a proper ending, I'm doing a little bit of bonus recording because I can't do this again, right? There's only one moment in history where the city comes alive, and I want to record it twice just in case. So, yeah, we have our distribution office service set up to feed them all. We have people working in the fire station, right? So we're a little impervious to fires right now. And I think we even have another fire station here that could use a fire truck shortly. And it looks like we're good to operate. Actually, we don't have enough firefighters here, so that wouldn't be a big deal. We could drag some last second in here. But yeah, it looks like we have at least a happy citizen, or a happier citizen. And if you enjoyed the episode, just let me know. Let me know in the comments below if you got any ideas as to why FPS goes bad when no new processes are running. Just any suggestions as to maybe OBS is not a recommended software recording tool. This if I do find issues with it, I am going to go on a forum and just downrank OBS as software for streaming, because this is unacceptable, really. Like the fact that it unpredictably does this midstream. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully the Happy Citizen episode doesn't have any missing frames. There's no lag, and I didn't have to edit this to make this story come together. So if that's the case, well, here's the second signing out of episode 20. So if you enjoyed it, just let me know. Comment below. And otherwise, I will see you in the next episode.